Hello, fellow agents. Are you seeing what we're seeing? We're seeing some houses stay on the market a little longer. We're seeing some price drops that we haven't seen for a long time. We're seeing fewer offers, sometimes no offers for a little while or some time. And we're seeing contingencies. Real estate contingencies are back because so many houses are not getting the multiple offers that they were getting a few months ago.
And so we were just discussing with our audience on our other pages about what it means to have a domino effect in real estate and some of the things that they have to be aware of as far as if they are a seller taking a contingency. And I think almost more aware should be the buyers and what they need to accept and be prepared for, because they're kind of putting themselves, it's a risk and reward type of situation where a lot of people don't want to sell until they have somewhere to buy because they don't want to live in temporary housing, or they don't have anybody who can take them in for a little bit, or a myriad of reasons. But they also have to understand that there's a good chance that when they put their house up for sale and they're under contract and under a deadline, they might be taking the first offer that comes their way. That might be desperate. Yep. That might cost them 5, 10, tens of thousands sometimes.
So they're going to make a great offer on the buy side.
Correct.
They're going to add $5,000 or $10,000 or $15,000 to what they would otherwise offer in order to be competitive. And as we say, in our market at least, you need to be competitive until closing day, because we have something called a kick-out clause in our contracts. If there is a contingent piece of real estate, the seller can entertain offers anytime. And we have 24 to 72 hours for a kick-out clause. That means the buyer has to be able to drop that contingency. Most who are buying contingent can't. And so the seller is able to take that other offer. And that's after buyers done inspections, put down earnest money, paid for appraisal. All of those things may have happened already. They've got movers lined up and they can get kicked out. I've had it happen. It's terrible. So in order to keep sellers from entertaining other offers, buyers really need to come in strong if they have a contingent deal. And then, as Danielle says, take, the first thing that comes across their email in the way of an offer, and it might be far less than they would take otherwise.
Mm-hmm. And maybe even cost, do more for when AI comes along too. When that inspection period comes along, they might say, "Yep, okay, mm-hmm, yep,
I've had clients who say, "We'll take care of the radon. We'll take on, that plumbing issue that we would have asked you for." So yes, it's going to cost them possibly a few more $1,000s.
Well, I'm saying on both ways too. When they're the seller,
yes, absolutely. Then on the seller side,
okay, I'll replace this.
We want a new electrical panel. Okay,
we want $1,700 for rotting wood on the outside of a garage, one piece.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
That's in perfectly good condition. Sure. But so and we do have, and this probably is something that we should explain too, is in the state of Illinois, or at least where we work, earnest money is refundable. So that's kind of, so sellers or potential buyers can ask for whatever they want, really, even though they're not supposed to. There is something in our contracts that kind of explain that it's supposed to be for health and safety issues only, and probably getting a certain type of loans. Obviously if FHA or VA requires certain things, then, to meet with that. But outside of that, they could ask for the moon and the stars. And if the sellers say no, they get every dime of their earnest money back. So
yeah, our earnest money rules and laws are written very much in favor of the buyer. So
Right.
So sellers don't have a lot they can do other than kill the contract and hope that they get somebody else.
And they pay this as fast as possible.
Exactly. So there's a lot of risks involved in contingencies. And there's risks on both sides, and they tend to be very expensive for the clients. So you want to make sure that clients really understand all of that, and that they're looking at all those risks when they get together with their lender and decide what they're going to do in the way of an offer. And, they never want to move twice, and they never want to do, temporary housing or move in with someone else, because that sounds hard, and it is. But they should really be weighing that against the reality of what a contingency means. And we might be, here in Chicagoland, we're in August. This is always a slow time of year. So we don't know what's coming next. But we certainly don't want anybody to be caught with a home that they're under contract to buy and the inability to sell their other house. So that's very important. But contingencies may or may not be the best way to do it. Just make sure they're taking it all into account.
Absolutely.
So if you want to know more about me and Danielle, hit us up, drop a comment. We would love to chat with you and hear how things are going in your market.
Absolutely. Also, we don't, neither of us really deal with any type of bridge loans too often. I'm wondering if there's areas of the country that it's like every other, transaction, it's a bridge loan. You once in a while, you'll come across like a lender who says, yeah, we do some bridge loans. But as a whole, we don't have that product very often around here. And so I'm wondering if there's other areas that have that as a normal day-to-day.
And I feel like it was popular for a minute and then wasn't anymore. So yeah, I'd be very curious as to that question as well. So drop some comments, let us know, and we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.